Section 1 of the COLT is the course overview and introduction, where the whole idea is that the instructor is giving a thorough description of the course and introducing students to the protocol and expectations of the course. What I did do, and what I do, is the instructor welcome video, where I give the students a chance to see my face again, and I'm chatting about the class and what they can expect and what they should be planning to get out of it.
Section 2 is assessment of student learning, and basically what we're trying to do is provide and gather evidence to establish whether or not students are learning the things that we want them to learn, that we think that they're learning in our classes. When students are invited on many occasions throughout the course of the semester to use the theories and concepts from the class to critique an element of popular culture, then they're engaging in one of the student learning outcomes, which is use theories and concepts to better understand and more critically engage the world around them.
Section 3 is instructional materials and resources, which has to do with the materials and formats that the instructor uses to represent course content in order to enable students to meet relevant learning outcomes. For example, in my class, I don't over-rely on text, and I make sure I use a variety of instructional materials such as audio, video, animated GIFs, pictures, and of course, I make sure that proper attribution is given to all materials.
Section 4, Online Interaction Community of the COLT, addresses how instructors provide opportunities for students to interact with content, peers, and the instructor. The Collaborate sessions were a time for us to gather together as a class and for me to provide additional information about that week's activities.
Section 5 is about facilitation and instruction. And this is really just how we teach our courses, how we try to engage our students to become active learners in the classroom. So what they're required to do on the discussion forum is, I usually have a 3-part prompt with 3 questions. Then they respond to each other. If I just sort of step back and allow them to engage with one another, they do a good job, especially since the prompts are pretty specific.
Section 6 is technology for teaching and learning, which has to do with the use of technology to effectively deliver course content and engage students in the learning process. So what I've done is I recorded all the different pronunciations for the different phonetic symbols to illustrate the regional variation in pronunciation and have students play them over and over and engage with the material.
Section 7 is learner support and resources, and where do students go for help, whether it's program, academic, or technical resources that might be available to them. One of the things that I do is I have a big old bar right down the right-hand side saying need help with yellow highlights. I think that was incredibly helpful to have that, and have been putting that in all of my classes since.
Section 8 is accessibility and universal design, which are critical to some learners and beneficial to all learners. All course materials and file formats are accessible in my course. Pictures and media have alt text, and my Word documents are structured using headings, etc., so they are readable by assistive technology devices.
So Section 9 is course summary and wrap-up, and this is an opportunity for students to summarize the semester and start to see the connections to other courses that they might be taking in the major or at the university. I do a final review of the course in class. So we play a little Jeopardy game for each of the main theories that we've studied, ethnography, performance studies, and we have a discussion, like how did the hybrid format work for you? How was the feedback on your writing? Any suggestions that you have for improving the class?